Every year, millions of slot players lose billions, believing myths that casino insiders know are completely false. These beliefs aren't accidents. They're carefully cultivated misconceptions that generate massive profits. Today, Vegas workers are exposing the 10 most expensive slot machine myths that keep players losing. What you're about to learn could save you thousands. And myth number 1 is so deeply embedded in gambling culture that even when you know it's false, your brain will still try to convince you it's real. Machine number 9. Machines that haven't paid in a while are ready to hit. This myth destroys more bankrolls than any other belief in the casino. A veteran slot technician who serviced machines for 15 years explains exactly why this thinking is so dangerous. Inside every slot machine sits a computer chip called a random number generator, or RNG. This chip cycles through millions of number combinations every second, even when nobody's playing. The moment you press spin, the RNG freezes on whatever number it happens to be generating at that exact millisecond. That number determines your outcome. Here's what destroys the myth completely. The machine has zero memory of previous spins. Whether it just paid out 10 jackpots in a row or hasn't hit anything in 3 days, the odds on your next spin remain exactly identical. A machine that hasn't paid in 5,000 spins has the same probability of hitting on spin 5,000 and one as a machine that just paid out 5 seconds ago. Former technicians report watching players camp out at machines for 8, 10, 12 hours straight, convinced that machine owes them something. One documented case involved a retired teacher who tracked a particular machine for 3 weeks, noting every payout. When it went cold for 4 days, she played it exclusively for an entire weekend, losing $4,000. The machine finally hit a $300 bonus. She thought she'd cracked the code. In reality, she'd just experienced random probability while losing thousands. But here's the kicker. The next myth is even more insidious because it plays on your paranoia about being manipulated in real time. Machine number 8. Casinos tighten machines during busy hours. Picture this. It's Saturday night, the casino floor is packed, and suddenly you can't hit anything. Must be the casino tightening the machines remotely, right? Former floor managers are finally revealing why this conspiracy theory is mechanically impossible. Every slot machine's payout percentage is burned into a computer chip called an EPROM. To change that percentage, a technician has to physically open the machine, replace or reprogram the chip, then file paperwork with gaming regulators. In most jurisdictions, this process takes days or weeks and requires regulatory approval. Some states require 30 days advance notice before any payout change. The idea that someone in a back room is flipping switches based on crowd size is pure fantasy. But here's what actually happens during busy hours that makes this myth feel true. When the casino is packed, you're playing faster because of the energy. You're drinking more because waitresses circulate more frequently. You're making worse decisions because of sensory overload from noise, lights, and crowds. Your perception of losing changes when you're surrounded by other people also losing. Former casino executives reveal the real manipulation isn't in the machines. It's in the environment, oxygen levels, lighting, sound design. Even specific musical frequencies are calibrated to keep you playing longer and betting bigger. The machines don't need to change because human psychology does the heavy lifting. One insider documented player behavior patterns showing people lose 23% more money on Saturday nights compared to Tuesday afternoons, playing the exact same machines with identical payout percentages. The machines never changed. The atmosphere did. Speaking of betting bigger, the next myth has probably cost players more money than any other single misconception about odds. Machine number 7. Max bet guarantees better odds. This myth has drained more player bankrolls than almost any other misconception. Former floor managers who spent decades watching this play out are setting the record straight. Max bet does not improve your mathematical odds of winning, period. Here's what max bet actually does. On progressive jackpot machines, you must bet max to qualify for the grand prize. On some bonus games, max bet unlocks additional features or multipliers. But the base game RTP, that fundamental percentage the machine returns over time, stays exactly the same whether you're betting 50 cents or $50 per spin. A former slot manager tracked player data for 3 years at a major Vegas property. players betting max lost money 34% faster than those betting minimum, while their win frequency remained statistically identical. The only difference was the size of their losses. One documented case involved a postal worker who switched from $1 bets to $5 max bets, believing it would improve his odds. Over 6 months, his losses increased from $200 per session to $1,000 per session. His win rate never changed. The psychology is brilliant. Casinos know that once you bet max and hit even a small win, the payout feels massive. 3 cherries might pay $15 on a $1 bet, but $75 on a $5 bet. Same odds, same combination, but your brain registers that 75 as proof that max betting works. Meanwhile, you're burning through your bankroll 5 times faster. But wait until you hear about those shiny new machines that just arrived on the floor. Machine number 6. New machines are looser to lure players. This myth contains a kernel of truth wrapped in dangerous misconception. Former technicians confirm that yes, some casinos do set new machines at slightly higher RTPs during promotional periods. But here's what players don't understand about what that actually means. When a casino installs new machines, they might set them at 92% RTP instead of their standard 90%. Sounds great until you realize what a 2% difference means in practice. If you play 600 spins per hour at $1 per spin, that extra 2% saves you exactly $12 per hour. You're still losing 48 per hour instead of 60. The house edge never disappears. More importantly, these promotional settings are temporary and still within regulated ranges. A technician who installed machines for multiple casinos reveals that promotional periods typically last 2 to 4 weeks. After that, machines get adjusted to standard floor percentages. But players who won during the promotional period keep playing, convinced they've found a gold mine. The real trick happens psychologically. New machines get premium placement, better lighting, and increased marketing attention. Players assume they're winning more because the machines are new, when actually they're just playing more because of the hype. Former managers document that new machine banks generate 40% more play in their first month, not because they pay better, but because players believe they do. One casino executive tracked a bank of new machines over 6 months. Week 1, they were set at 92%. Week 5 dropped to 90%. Week 12, standard 88%. Player traffic remained high the entire time because early winners spread the word, creating a reputation that outlasted reality. Speaking of placement, wait until you learn the truth about those machines near the entrance. Machine number 5. Slots near entrances win more often. Old-timers swear by this rule. Play the machines near the entrance because casinos want winners visible to draw people in. Former casino designers and floor managers are revealing why this worked decades ago and why it's completely obsolete now. In 1970s Vegas, entrance machines were sometimes set looser, typically 2 to 3% higher RTP. The strategy was simple. Someone walking by sees and hears wins, gets excited, comes inside. These entrance machines were basically loss leaders, advertising costs built into the business model. But modern casino design has completely abandoned this approach. Today's casinos use sophisticated flow patterns, not machine placement, to maximize play. Former designers explain that entrances now feature machines with high visual appeal and popular themes, not better odds. The goal isn't to show winners anymore. It's to create an immersive environment that pulls you deeper into the property. Those entrance machines are actually some of the worst RTs on the floor because they know casual players will play them anyway. A study by former casino consultants tracked 50 properties over 2 years. Entrance machines averaged 87% RTP, while machines in the back averaged 89%. The complete opposite of what the myth suggests. Why? Because entrance machines get heavy traffic from casual players who don't know better, while serious players seek out specific games deeper in the casino. The new strategy uses psychology instead of payouts. Entrance areas feature lower denomination machines, comfortable spacing, and popular branded games. They want you comfortable in playing, not necessarily winning. But if entrance placement doesn't matter, surely leaving at the wrong time must cost you wins, right? Machine number 4. If you leave and someone wins, you just missed it. This myth causes more emotional pain than any other casino belief. You've been there, playing a machine for hours, finally give up, and watch someone else sit down and immediately hit the jackpot. That should have been yours, right? Former slot technicians are explaining why this heartbreak is based on complete mathematical impossibility. Remember that RNG we mentioned? It cycles through millions of number combinations every single second. Not every minute, not every spin, every second. The exact nanosecond you press the spin button determines your outcome. If you had stayed and pressed spin even 1/10 of a second earlier or later, you would have gotten a completely different result. A veteran technician who programmed these systems for 12 years breaks it down. For you to have won that same jackpot, you would need to press spin at the exact same millisecond as the other player. The odds of that happening are essentially zero. Even your physical pressing speed varies by milliseconds each time. The temperature of your finger, the angle of approach, your reaction time, everything affects that precise moment of contact. Former casino managers document countless examples of players torturing themselves over missed jackpots. One case involved a woman who played a machine for 6 hours, left for a bathroom break, and saw someone win $10,000 on her machine. She spent the next 3 months chasing that machine, convinced it owed her that jackpot. She lost $15,000 trying to reclaim something that was never hers. The winner didn't steal your jackpot. They created their own at their own unique moment. Machine number 3, progressive jackpots are due at certain amounts. Watch any progressive jackpot climb toward its historical maximum, and you'll see players camping out, convinced it has to hit soon. Former casino executives and programmers are exposing why this mathematical certainty is actually a psychological trap. Progressive jackpots work on something called a random trigger within parameters. Yes, there might be a maximum cap, say $50,000, where it must pay before reaching that amount. But here's what players don't understand. If the jackpot must hit by $50,000 and it's currently at $49,900, your odds might be 1 in 10,000 on any given spin. Those odds don't improve just because the number is higher. A programmer who designed progressive systems explains the reality. The jackpot trigger is selected randomly when the jackpot resets. If the system randomly selects $47,234.67 as the trigger point, that's when it hits. Not a penny before, not a penny after, but you'll never know that number. You just see 49,900 and think it's about to explode. Former floor managers tracked player behavior around high progressives. When jackpots reached 90% of their historical maximum, play increased by 300%. Players would literally wait in line for machines. One documented incident involved 17 people waiting for a single Dragon Link progressive that was near its cap. The jackpot hit for someone who had been playing for 5 minutes. The 17 people waiting had collectively spent over $30,000 that day chasing it. The almost there feeling is manufactured psychology. The prominent display, the climbing numbers, the historical markers shown on screen, all designed to make you feel like you're close when mathematically you're exactly as far away as you were yesterday. Machine number 2. Older machines pay out more than digital ones. Nostalgia is expensive in casinos. Players swear those old mechanical 3-reel slots with actual spinning reels paid better than today's video screens. Former technicians who serviced both types for decades are revealing the truth about what actually changed and what didn't. The mathematics haven't changed at all. A 90% RTP is 90% RTP, whether it's calculated by mechanical wheels or computer chips. What has dramatically changed is volatility structure. Old mechanical slots had limited reel positions, maybe 20 symbols per reel. This created natural limits on both win frequency and jackpot size. You'd win more often, but smaller amounts. Modern video slots can have virtual reels with hundreds of positions, invisible to players. This allows for massive jackpots, but with correspondingly brutal dry streaks. A former slot designer explains that a modern video slot might go 500 spins without a significant hit, then pay 1,000 times your bet. An old mechanical slot would give you small wins every 8 to 10 spins, but never pay more than 100 times your bet. Former technicians tracked thousands of sessions comparing mechanical versus video slots with identical RTP. Players on mechanical slots reported feeling luckier and having more fun, even while losing the exact same amount of money. The frequent small wins on mechanical slots trigger more dopamine responses, making you feel like you're winning even while slowly losing. One study documented player sessions over 6 months. Mechanical slot players averaged 3.5-hour sessions. Video slot players averaged 2.0-hour sessions, but lost 15% more money per session due to higher bet sizes and faster play speed. Your nostalgia is real, but the math never changed. Machine number 1. There's a secret trick to beating slots. This is it. The ultimate myth. The one that spawns 1,000 YouTube videos, forum posts, and bar conversations. Former casino executives, technicians, and managers are unanimous. There is no secret pattern, no hidden timing, no special technique to beat slot machines. But here's why casinos quietly encourage this belief. Every legitimate slot mechanism is governed by random number generation and regulated payout percentages. No amount of rhythm pressing, machine watching, or moon phase tracking changes these mathematical constants. A former casino executive who oversaw slot operations for 20 years states it plainly. If there was an exploitable pattern, casinos would have fixed it yesterday. Their entire business model depends on mathematical certainty. But casinos benefit enormously from players believing in systems. Why? Because players with systems play longer, bet more consistently, and return more frequently. They're engaged in solving a puzzle that doesn't exist. Former managers document that system players lose 22% more on average than casual players because they're convinced they're about to crack the code. The myth persists through confirmation bias and selective memory. Hit a jackpot after switching machines 3 times? That becomes your system. Never mind the 50 times it didn't work. A documented case involved a player who swore by pressing spin exactly every 7 seconds. He did this for 2 years, keeping detailed records. His losses perfectly matched the machine's programmed RTP, but he remained convinced he was getting closer to perfecting his timing. The only winning slot strategy that actually works: set a loss limit, set a win goal, and possess the discipline to walk away when you hit either one. Everything else is expensive fiction.